Hi FlossTube. If you've been watching my regular videos, I have been talking about how I'm going to, for the month of April, start a new one of the Be Well and Stitch patterns that so many designers have come together and put out for us in this time. So every day over the month of April, I am going to start a new one. I am not going to promise a video every day, but I am going to try as often as I can to come on and shoot videos. I will post progress on Instagram with the hashtag BWASSAL or Be Well and Stitch SAL. You're welcome to join in. You're welcome to follow along. You're welcome to use that to post any of your Be Well and Stitch patterns that you're stitching, any progress you make. It doesn't have to be starting one every day or whatever I'm doing. I needed something to kind of help with the lack of focus I've had, so I thought this would be fun. I am going to start with Barbie Shelter and Be Well. Pedal Pusher is the name of her store. I will link everything down in the description as best I can. I can't show the pattern because it is just the chart, so I don't want to share that, but I can link to where I got it from. Some of these, and I don't know, some of them I just copied directly from Instagram, some of them came from Facebook, some of them came from designers' websites. They just are kind of all over the place. So I'll do my best to try to find to link to the best place to get it. Every designer is doing it a little bit different. Shelter and Be Well is it's charted with Weeks Dye Works, as we've talked about in the past. I am not, I don't have fancy flosses. I am not opposed to them. I just have, I like DMC just because I can get it locally. I can, it's easy for me to justify the cost. There are some patterns that I have that I won't stitch until I'm able to get to a store and buy overdyed. I'm not buying it because I don't think it's worth it. I just haven't. I haven't at this point. I have a couple of skeins of different things, but not like I don't have a huge stash of anything. So I am substituting out DMC for this. So I thought I would go over what I'm using real quick so that you can see what colors I have chosen. For grits, have chosen 822. For squash, I have 744. For daylily, I have 3854. For driftwood, I have 451. And for malachite, I have 3816. I'll go ahead and post all of these down in the description just in case you are also looking for ways to subcolors. And then here's I'll do it that way. That's going to be the colors. It's fairly close. I think this is a little bit darker than what she has charted. I don't know. I can't compare to the actual floss. All I can do is compare to the colors that she has on her chart. So, but yeah, that's what I chose. I am going to, just so you know, I started the first stitch before starting to record, just so I didn't have to try to figure out where I needed to start. This is the piece of fabric that I'm stitching on. It is just a small piece of Aida. I think this might be 18 count. It's either 16 or 18 count. It is not 14 count. I am stitching 2 over 1. And so I'm just going to sit here and try to talk to you. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera because I just covered over the chart with all of those flosses that I showed you. It's hard to see. So I am just going to sit here and stitch and talk to y'all for a few minutes. I'm probably not going to be on here real long. 10-15 minutes is my goal for my videos, but I'll stitch and then kind of show you my progress. So I'm kind of doing this, I guess, more Ellen Reed style. I don't have a great way to set up my camera to show what I'm doing as I do it. So I'm just going to sit here and stitch and talk to you. I have to admit it's been a difficult day for me. I don't know. I'm having issues. And I'm sure a lot of us are. It's a different way of life right now. And like I said, my life really isn't all that different right now, but it feels different. I don't know. I'm frustrated by the lack of being able to buy the groceries that I want to buy. Our stores are still pretty low on stock of a lot of things, and that's really frustrating because I'm having to change the way that I shop, the way that I cook. Um, I before this, I mostly cooked at home anyway. It's not like we didn't eat out a lot. We live 30 minutes away from anything, so it's just easier to, occasionally my husband would bring takeout home, but it was super rare. And so it's pretty much the same. This is kind of weird. I'm not used to like just talking to the camera without having a floss tube stuff to share, so this will be a little bit out of my comfort zone. But I felt like this might be a really good way to kind of connect with everybody a little bit more, just to not feel so isolated, I guess. I mean, I'm missing my family, I'm missing my friends. I don't leave the house often, but I mean, my family's pretty close knit, and we see each other at least once a month, if not more. Just depends on the month. We were supposed to have a family retreat this past weekend, and obviously that didn't happen. We're a large family. My parents have a bunch of kids, and some of us have a bunch of kids. I only have one, but everybody else in my family that is married has 2 children. So it was hard not getting to do that. And then, of course, we still have plans coming up that we don't know whether or not they're going to happen. And I mean, I'd like to see them happen just because that means that this is, hopefully the end of this. But I also, don't want to see them happen if it's not the end. If we're still struggling as a nation to keep our people healthy. So I'm struggling a lot. I'm going to try not to talk about COVID-19 during all of these videos. I definitely don't want to do that, but since this is the first one, and this is really the reason that these designers have put out these charts, I'm going to talk about it a little bit, at least, today. It's kind of weird talking and stitching. I'm not used to doing that. I watch TV and stitch, or I listen to an audiobook and stitch, or a podcast and stitch, or the quiet and stitch, some music. But I don't usually talk a lot while I stitch. So that's kind of different. I don't even know what I want to talk about. I guess maybe I'll tell y'all a little bit about myself. For those that haven't been watching me since the beginning, I kind of touched on some of this stuff when I very first started doing floss tube. But I am married. My husband is a healthcare worker, which is why he is still working. Which, I mean, I'm thankful that he's still working. That gives us a lot more normalcy than what a lot of people are dealing with, but it's still scary. I have a daughter who just turned 19 this month. She is, we homeschooled. She is taking a year to try to figure out what she wants to do with her life. She's working on projects, but she's not going to school right now. She's not working right now. She's working on doing some coding work. She is doing crafting stuff. Those are the things that I think interest her the most, but it's, obviously she realizes that one of those things is a lot more lucrative than the other. So she's trying to decide if she wants to go to college or not. Right now with the way the cost of college and the fact that she would probably have to do most of it on her own, that's kind of difficult, and she doesn't want to take out a bunch of student loans, which I don't fault her for that. So yeah, we're just here taking it one day at a time, trying to figure out. And of course this has kind of thrown we had talked about her taking the ACT this spring, and that kind of threw a little bit of a loop into that. So maybe she'll take it this summer and figure out if, I told her it's worth taking it even if she doesn't plan on going to college, because it gives her that as an option. So we'll see. we'll see how things go this summer. It's kind of a crazy time. I I have been cross stitching since I was early elementary school. I would say probably 7 or so. My mom taught me to stitch. I'm not positive about this, but I believe that my first cross stitch project was a butterfly that I stitched for my paternal grandmother. Um, and she was a crafter too. She knit and quilted. Those were her two big things. And she did some needlepoint. I could remember she used to bring needlepoint down for us, my sister and myself, whenever they would visit. Like we would do like some of like the plastic canvas um, ornaments and stuff like that. Uh, so yeah, she was a crafter as well. My other grandmother was also a crafter. She crocheted, she quilted as well. Crafting is definitely something that runs pretty deep in my family. We all my dad taught me woodworking when I was young as well. My background, what I went to college for, is theater. I did mostly props. I did some construction, so that served me well. Um, so yeah, I did some stage management too. I was kind of all over the place. I like variety, and I think that kind of shows in my crafts too. Because not only do I cross stitch, but I knit a little bit. I make scarves and dishcloths. I have the stuff. I got the stuff for Christmas to make socks. I don't know why, but oh, excuse me, it scares me. So yeah, so I have dabbled in knitting. I have all of um my maternal grandmother's like knitting needles and crochet hooks and stuff like that she had collected. She never really knit, but she had a bunch of stuff. I put this light here and I'm not even needing it, so actually it may not hurt. I've learned that if you can give yourself a little bit of an advantage, you might as well. I definitely don't need don't need reading glasses for this. If we're working on linen or even weave, I would probably be using reading glasses as well. So you'll probably see those pop out. My reading light, my husband uses it also for painting miniatures. So these little splotches you see here are paint where he's kind of, I don't know. I don't know how he managed to paint the light, but he did. So, but that's all that is. It's just some paint from when he's painted miniatures. I want to make sure I counted this all right, and I don't think I did. Nope, that is right. Yay! It's hard to count and talk at the same time. I don't know. This is why I'm not sure I would do well at a retreat. So yeah, my background is in theater, so I've done a lot. I mean, especially in props, you find yourself doing a lot of crafting kind of stuff. I had to do upholstery and build furniture and make curtains. So, I had to sew. Um, had to do all kinds of stuff. I do a little bit of quilting here and there. Nothing too difficult. Mostly just like small wall hangings and table runners and stuff like that. I've made tote bags. I have done beading, scrapbooking. I was really big into scrapbooking. I did just traditional paper scrapbooking for a long time. And then in about 2009, I started digital scrapbooking, where you would use a photo editing software and create scrapbook pages using digital components. And I was on a lot of different creative teams and stuff for different scrapbooking stores and for different scrapbooking designers at that time. That was a lot of fun. I gave it up in 2016. Just it was just time. I'd been doing it for 6 or 7 years. I still occasionally will pull out my paper crafting stuff and do some scrapbooking stuff here or there, but and I'd like to get more back into it, but not with the pressure of having to do stuff for people and have that be part of my life. Um, it worked for me at that point, and I had an absolute blast with it. But it was time to move on. So I'm looking at doing traveler notebooks as like journal scrapbooky type stuff. And I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I still haven't. I've made some junk journals, which is a lot of fun. I enjoy that. And I don't know. I guess that pretty much covers most of the crafting stuff I've done. I've done some watercolors and drawing and stuff like that. I'm not very good, but I enjoy it. I I'm not super artistic, or at least I haven't taken the time to become super artistic. I'm sure that if I sat down and drew something every day, I would be better at it. That is the way things work. But I just haven't really taken the time to do that. This is really awkward. How do y'all do this? These Stitch with Me's. I don't know. I'm gonna keep doing it. Maybe I'll be a pro by the end of April. Who knows? um, but yeah. That is. Make sure I have my count right here. Okay. Nope. Okay. Bear with me for a second, because there we go. Okay. Don't want to get this wrong if I can at all avoid it, because that's difficult. So yeah, a little bit more about me. As I said, I worked in theater for a while. That's what my degree is in. After I got married, I started working at a children's library in my hometown, which was the best. I loved that job. I worked as a clerk. We did story times. I did most of the young adult collections and programming. I had started school for my master's in library science, but then we moved and I decided to homeschool. So I have a few hours into a master's degree, but I did not finish because I couldn't justify the cost of tuition when I wasn't actively working in the field, which is sad. I'm sad that it didn't really work out to. Oh, I missed a stitch. I'm sad that it didn't really work out for me to finish that, but uh, I definitely, oh my gosh, I have all of the absolute utmost respect for the people that can do Stitch with Me and talk and stitch at the same time. My goodness. I feel like I am faltering all kinds of ways. So I'm going to put these last few. Oh no, that's not. See, I was trying to move way ahead on the chart. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. So, now this is such a pretty design. I am excited about getting to start all of these new little projects. It would be awesome if I could actually stitch one a day. Some of them are a little too big, I think, to try to make that happen. Also, I'm a slow stitcher, and I have other things I want to work on too during this month. But hopefully, I can do better progress than I did with my mania projects from last year. I think I have finished 10 out of the 36 or so that I started. Um, and my mania plans are still the same. I'm just going to work on what I still have for the days that I started them, and then add a new little small Christmas ornament on the days that I didn't. So I don't know what I'm doing. I could probably, if I can figure out a better setup for this too, so I'm not like, this is not my normal. Normally I'm reclined and all that, but when I reclined, I couldn't get the phone set up in a way that really worked right for me. So this is what I'm doing now. I know I'm going to ramble on these because I ramble at the best of times. So when I'm not actually sure what I'm supposed to be talking about, that's even harder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, now I think I'm going to try to finish off this strand while we're on here. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to find to talk about for the rest of the days, but um, maybe I'll figure out something. I feel like some people are just absolute naturals at this, and I may not be one of those people. That is okay, though. I don't have to be a natural at everything I try. Some things I can learn, and some things I can decide that, it's not worth it, and I don't need to be doing this. Hopefully, this is not one of them. So, but yeah, hopefully, y'all are all doing well. Trying to think about like maybe some stories and stuff I can tell you. I am not a natural storyteller. I admire like Ellen Reed, Caroline, and Michelle Garrett. Those people that just are natural. It feels like they're natural storytellers. I could just talk and you will just listen, and it's all fun. And um, what they have to say is interesting, and I don't feel like I'm there yet, or I may never be there. I don't know, but I'm gonna be positive and say yet. So got one more stitch, and then I can show you where I'm at on this, and we will say adieu for today. And I will post my end of the day progress on this on Instagram, so follow me or follow the hashtag BWASSAL if you would like to see that. Actually, let me go ahead and tie this off so I'm not dealing with the needle hanging there. But yeah, I will post where I'm at, and then as I finish these, I will also post them, even if it's not until next year. Hopefully that's not the case, but if that ends up being the case, I will still do that. So I'm not going to worry about cutting it off yet. So this is the progress I have made so far. Let me turn this off. So yeah, I like this pattern a lot. It's got like lemons and then like a big lemon tree. That's what this vine is it goes all the way around, and then there's a house. But like I said, I will link that in the description below so that you can see that. And this video ended up being longer than I thought it was going to be. Who knew? So anyway, I hope that y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow. If not, it won't be too much longer. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.